the problem of Dalits facing and the problem Muslims face, is there a commonality? Is there something common they both face, or it's completely different?
It's different kind. It operates. It's the hate against Dalits and the hate against Muslims. They stem from very different sources. Muslims maybe at one point of time, see, even before partition, they were at least willing to talk to Muslims. There was both have come from very different history. This, I don't think there's any reason to compare the. So Dalits have a very long historical operation, history of that. Our history is very different. At least the history that we relate to, largely the population relates to, is very different. In the sense that there wasn't any. We were always mentally. We were always free. We were free in our minds. We fought. We weren't like we talked. Our struggle was mostly to continue being free. There was like spiritually we were free, emotionally we were free. Dalit had to first wage that war among themselves internally to like mental chains that they were being forced to adhere to. Ambedkar broke it like that when he said, "I won't be a Hindu anymore." That was the first instance when he opened that gate. There might be some other histories also before Ambedkar. I am not expert there, but that's one of the basic differences. We did not have that mental barrier.
Okay. Actually, I was asking this as a point. The relation between, in my understanding, the relation. What do you cherish in Ambedkar, Baba Saheb Ambedkar? There are, for Dalits, the entire thing they cherish. That's different. But what do you cherish? And I think if you say that Muslims also should cherish, if something is there, what do you cherish?
About Dr. Ambedkar?
Ambedkar, yeah.
I mean, what he did, from where he came and what he did for the kind of population. I mean, the intensity and the how widespread his impact was on this subcontinent. Second to none. Second to none. And after that, Kashiram. But what Ambedkar, Kashiram is possible because Ambedkar was there. No? It wouldn't have been possible without him. A single man, I mean, a single man sort of liberated almost half the population of this land, this territory.
That is true. Yes.
I mean, this alone let every struggle. If you look at him in vacuum and what he did, what he came, what he overcame, where he's coming from, what he overcame, and what he achieved. Even in vacuum, if you let's forget he was a Dalit or I'm a Muslim or we are living in India. If it was happening in South Africa also, then also he would have been a great person to look up to. I mean, you don't have to be a Muslim or atheist or a Dalit to admire what Ambedkar did. And that's one thing about Kashiram also.
Okay. Yeah.
People don't give him enough credit.
But
now,
why is that? Both of them, Ambedkar and Kashiram, both of them should have got credit. What you said, even in US or in South Africa, in African continent, right now only these days, some of the Ambedkarites go and talk about Ambedkar, Baba Saheb, and some, now they do that there. So, why is that such a great stature, you say, but do you think that he got recognized at least now, in 2024, for what he was, himself and also Kashiram, what the political revolution he did in this country?
Yeah, Kashiram not so much. Ambedkar is now fairly recognized. It has become sort of a political compulsion also. That's one of the victories of the Ambedkarite movement in this country. That they were able to, like, there was a time after his death, the Congress tried everything in their power to remove him from the national sensibilities. They just put him as one of the leaders of the country. They, like Azad is there, Patel is there, but even if they weren't, Patel not so much, even if they weren't there, the fate of the country would have been same, because Nehru was here, Gandhi was here. These are more important characters. Ambedkar is also there, and then with Ambedkar they'll count 10 dozen other names. Azad was also here. So Congress, like what they did with Azad, or tried to do with Azad, they also tried to do with Ambedkar also. That these are sort of this compulsion of nation state, that the history has to be very linear. And in that, everybody is a supporting cast around 2-3 protagonists like Nehru and Gandhi, and everybody is supporting cast. So if you say take somebody who was like Ali brothers, they were very like great history. What all they have done in their lifetimes. One of the brothers is buried in Al-Aqsa compound, Jerusalem. But other than they started Khilafat movement, what else did they do? They were helping Gandhi in freedom struggle. They were Congress leaders under Gandhi. So these are the characters that, and that's compulsion of nation state historiography. But they tried to do that with Ambedkar also, Azad also. They succeeded somewhat with Azad, but not so much with Ambedkar, because there was an underground sensitization going on among the Dalits. Like they would have buried his letters, everything. But Ambedkarite movement did not let that happen.
So,
but with Kashiram, he was distorted.
So this when we talk about this Baba Saheb Ambedkar, he won a constituency because of Muslims voted. He stood in Bengal. I think a large population was Muslims who voted for him to win an election.
He came to Aligarh Muslim University also.
Okay.
He is a lifetime member. He was a lifetime member of Aligarh Muslim University's Students' Union.
Oh, okay.
The first lifetime member was, people say it was Gandhi, but I think it was Jinnah. Jinnah was first. Gandhi, let's believe Gandhi was the first lifetime member.
In everything.
So what happened was, the group that conferred Gandhi with the lifetime membership, they weren't students back then.
Okay.
And like they forcefully called Gandhi, and this was just before Khilafat movement started. They started. So when you give lifetime membership, you have a portrait, hand-painted portrait actually, that's hung in the Union Hall. There's no Gandhi's portrait. I mean, it was
Ambedkar's there.
Ambedkar's is there, Jinnah's is there, Iqbal's is there. These are all lifetime members.
Oh, but these all are not mainstream figures.
They were lifetime members. Jinnah was lifetime member. Ambedkar
What does
is
lifetime member means? They studied there or?
No. If there's any meeting of the union, any time
Students' Union.
Students' any resolution that has to be passed, they have a vote there. They can speak there. They can raise their concerns there.
Oh.
And it's the oldest students' union in entire Asia.
Entire Asia, Aligarh Muslim University.
Yeah, 1885 it was started.
Okay, then we have to do a separate video.
It has a very.
So one thing, why was
Ambedkar chaired a debate also, the union debate also in 35.
Okay.
But the records are. There's a very famous picture of him with Hasrat Mohani, who was also an alumnus of AMU. He came to Aligarh with Hasrat Mohani came to Aligarh with Ambedkar.
Okay.
They attended an iftar together in AMU. But this history is not available anymore. We know because the portraits are there and he was lifetime member. That's tradition. But if you try finding about history, say Ambedkar coming in 35. This is after Pune Pact and everything. No, they would have some newspaper clipping about him. Nothing is there. At least in the Times of India archive, I couldn't find. Jinnah came multiple times to AMU. What he spoke, I think, in the archives that are available now, at least what we as scholars can find, it's not available. But what Viceroy said in 1880s in AMU, that you can find.
So I would say that Dalits' problem is a cultural problem. Like culture, what I mean is, that is called, I call culture spiritual. Because in India, I think spirituality and culture has become amalgam of one.
Yeah.
For example, the purity pollution ideology. So I find that is a spiritual, related to the spiritual, but it has gone away from that and made look like a normal category, as a cultural category. So there are fighters, you can say this one and that one also, either ways you can say. And that's what Ambedkar said, that he born in something and he will never die in the same thing. That's what he said actually, related to that. So in that case, even what will be in that way we see Dalits. How do you see Muslims issues, problem of the Muslim community in India? Is it, what kind of a problem it is? It's like Dalits cultural, like that, spiritual. What is the problem?
It's not spiritual, obviously. That is sorted. That has been sorted for Muslims everywhere. I mean, that's how Muslims in jail are also very contented when once they make peace with it. The problem is the attack on the identity, and with that comes the cultural erasure and all of that. To be see, Dalits are on margins, Muslims are also margins, but even their location and the places on the margins is also very, very distinct. The nature is very distinct of their marginalization. Dalit Muslim phenomenon is very, marginalization is a relatively new phenomenon. It started post in past 150 years. Say if you calculate the early part of British colonialism here, say 200 years. 200 years versus say a couple of thousand years, there's no comparison to draw. And we always had some elite group among Muslims to hold things together, to negotiate with whoever was at power, whether it was the Britishers or so there was even in late 1800s there was some Muslim in the Viceroy's council who was advising him, who was speaking for, if there was attack on Urdu language, he would come and speak about it. No, you can't do that. But Dalits had to first make that space for themselves, which Ambedkar did, and he did, like say in that happened last 100 years. So what Ambedkar did was already had that. No, so I mean, what I'm trying to say is it's not comparable. However, people try to compare based on the atrocities and all. Atrocities are the products of what is happening, but why it's happening from the oppressor's perspective also, and from how you're receiving it also.
So this, when we, let me understand this way, you say that Ambedkar's...
Say, for example, I'll give you one. For a lot of people in this country, Dalit is a derogatory word. People use the word Dalit. I suspect there would be some in Muslim community also, many in fact, would use the word Dalit as a derogatory term to humiliate someone. It can never happen with Muslims. They tried a lot to do that with Muslims. But Muslims have always taken it as a badge of honor. If you say you are a Muslim, even if you mean to say it in a derogative way, to humiliate, he'll say Alhamdulillah. So what I'm saying is it's very different. You can't just compare.
So you were saying that Ambedkar's the anti-caste caste issue was for generations, and the Muslims issue in India, it's very recent one.
Past 200 years, yes.
So, but for that long generation,
And Muslims were involved in professions of skills that involved skills which Dalits were not allowed to do. So what changes there is, say if you kill my economy here, you kill my shop, you burn my house, but I am a shoemaker. Next day I'll start making shoe, I'll rebuild my life again.
yeah, that is true.
So that's why after every riot, there was like the history of riots in UP and the attack on the Muslim economy. Had Muslims not been dependent on their skills, they wouldn't have been able to survive. We don't rely on governments to come rebuild our shops, no? The communities Muslim communities relied on their skills. You'll find all the jobs, traditional skill jobs. In India, it's mostly with Muslims, no? Woodwork, Muslim, metalwork, Muslim, all kind of these works. So, yes, Dalits were never been given to, allowed to go in those fields. So it's very difficult to rebuild your life from there, no? When you have not even skills. You're not allowed to even pursue a skill. So what do you do then?
Yeah.
How do you rebuild your life then?
Yeah. So this one, when I came to Okla first time, I saw this big electrical post, and I was wondering how did that become here? Because this is in my area. They say that 100 meters you should not live next to these wires.
These are, most of them are on government papers. These are illegals. Illegal constructions.
But they have pattas, everything, official documents they have.
Might have, some might not. Obviously, this land belong to somebody. That's why there are restrictions like you can't build over 3 floors or over 4 floors. Certain rules like that.
Okay.
But people have to live here. People are coming every year, and the land is not expanding.
Yeah, one interesting thing I want to ask. I find fruit shops here, this side, and eateries, many. Where is the alcohol shop here?
No alcohol shop.
No, in this entire Okla to Shaheen Bagh.
No, I don't think there's any.
No, not a
I've been
single
here
outlet.
since 5 years. I haven't seen any. Why would there be alcohol shop in a Muslim area?
So the other thing, we'll come back to that topic. I was wondering to ask, what is this? Isn't there possible? Why Ambedkar? When you say Ambedkar did this much and he has fought, why he has not become? Even Muslims are not. No, I can't say not. You should tell me. Is as Ambedkar been able to reach to the Muslim community or Muslim community?
Not so much. No.
Okay.
See, when Ambedkar was doing, when Ambedkar started his political career, like just before, 20-30 years before partition, that was the time when it was a very distinct historical political climate for Muslims. In a way, because that was the time when...
That's true.
So they had their own struggle.
Yeah. They had own struggle, and Ambedkar was also in part of that time. Yeah. So it is not that Ambedkar lived somewhere in the past we are talking.
Yeah.
He is in the present.
Yeah.
Even not even a decade, 100 years has passed. So yeah, that is understandable. So one last thing on this topic is, do you, in every campuses, Muslims and Dalits have some kind of a relation they have. But what is, during my students' days also, I've been searching. Two things I've been searching in my life. One is about the caste question. When is this atrocities going to end? Second one is trying to understand what is this connection they have, because on the ground it is not there as it is there in the university spaces. So what is, in your understanding, what is the relation they have?
Any oppressed anywhere, I'm not talking about constructed oppression. Some people, like there's some communities now that have come up who are oppressed in their minds only. There's not actual oppression going around, but they believe that they are being oppressed. Leaving them aside, people who know what marginalization, what oppression looks, they are bound to become friends. Now what happens in campuses, what doesn't happen outside the campuses is, in campuses they have this connection with their fellow brothers within the community. You don't necessarily have to leave the community. Once you leave the community, go somewhere else. And then you have to find a community that understands or maybe even appreciates your struggles. A Brahmin can't to possibly begin to, maybe he might or they might, but more chances are that that I might, because and somewhere it's purely political also. It's not as honest, if I may say that. Somewhere in many places purely political also, and it makes good politics, no?
Okay. Yeah, no. Okay. So
I'll
this.
take chai.
Okay. So, brother, okay. I think, in my opinion, in this country, two community faces the cultural oppression, as you said, and I identify myself most as a Dalit. The concept of Dalit, like the Dalit Panthers and Baba Saheb himself, and then I think the Muslim community. I think both of us should, both the community should join hands together. I think there is, both the communities are keeping away. I don't know how many kilometers far away we are, but I think university spaces is what strike me. That just cherish you. I can't say when
It is not going to come from campuses.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you hate campuses.
No, in campuses, especially now, it's more about performances.
Now, earlier, I'm not talking. Oh, my generation is our generation. That campus life is over
Right.
because they understood.
Even the upcoming, it's more performative campus.
Okay.
See, you're living there. You know, you're living there for a limited amount of time,
Yeah,
and you get to go back to your privileges.
yeah,
Whatever privilege you have and whatever privilege I have,
Yeah.
we'll go back to our privileges.
yeah.
So the
go chai.
foundation of this relationship is that we are going to be separated.
Okay.
Maybe we'll keep touch as friends or something. So there's no bond. No, it's not forever bond. So premise is that. I think personally, I don't know. Don't take it the wrong way. And
Apna tea?
maybe one of the biggest failures of
You? No. No, you have phone.
yes.
Take a selfie, Mapla. Poor guy, he's taking. No, selfie of both, three of us. Take Mapla. Yeah, let that be recorded also. Because I want him also to be there.
Don't mind my broken phone, no?
Yeah. You should share it in Twitter.
Yes.
Recorded, right? This also? We'll record everything.
So, like, have trouble understanding is, and this is one of the failures of Muslims in this country. I mean, not in past 200 years, but since they arrived here, that they did not address Dalit question. That's the single biggest. Whatever is happening to Muslims now, maybe this is Allah telling us, so you deserve this now because. See, I'll explain it in another way. During Shaheen Bagh protest, during the CA protest, I was in Allahabad to join one of the protests there. It was Friday. I was in a masjid. There was a very young imam, maybe of my age. He was giving the khutbah, Jummah khutbah, and he's saying if there's an operation happening around you and you don't feel bad about it in your heart, then you are not a Muslim.
Oh, okay.
He said, अगर माशरे में जुल्म हो रहा है और आपका दिल उससे बेचैन ना हो तो फिर आप मुसलमान नहीं हैं. It's very like difficult thing to accept, but I mean, and whatever was happening with the list, all the Mughals came, Sultanate came, everybody came. Nobody came and addressed this. Parallelly is happening in the same country where you are kings and whatever. That's one of the biggest. In South it did not happen so much, but North, some people have tried to answer why it happened as such. But yeah, so that's why my Ustad says that the only work for Muslims to do in India is tabligh.
Okay, yeah.
Because we haven't done tabligh yet fully.
So here for Dalits, I would say that same thing I would say, but I find they have reduced Ambedkarism into pockets of pick and choose of Ambedkar's ideology, comfortable to them. Ambedkar's ideology was so much problematic not for us, for the state. His idea was so much of troublesome, and I think even Dalits did not want to take that idea of his. They choose his life, some part of his life.
Such
here
as?
and there. For example, they will say that you get education, it's needed. But Ambedkar was never enforcing education is the only solution. He took multiple decisions in his life. And he said for example, education is needed, he said, leave your traditional work, he said. Then at last he said that nothing is going to reform, this is the thing I'm going to do. But that what he did at the last final stage is not a popular, on his deathbed, in the sense as 5 years later he died. But that was the last thing he did. And last thing, after so much of experience, he was a politician, he was the most educated. He didn't say you educate everything, he was a lawyer. He didn't say lawyer, you study, no. He said cultural thing is what important. But that never was taken up by Dalits. So if they would have taken Ambedkar seriously, if they would have studied Ambedkar seriously.
What do you mean by culture here?
No, that one you can say culture, because I mean religion, culture.
Religion.
That's why that is both are same in India for me.
Okay.
Because certain religions, ideas has become a normalized culture. So Ambedkar said that no, it's different. So I think that part of his life was so crucial, and there were other things also. He's coming this side. Yeah, Mapla, last one thing.
I'm not Mapla, he's Mapla.
No, for me everybody is Mapla. I don't know why. So Mapla, oh that Mapla. Yeah, that is also Mapla. So Mapla, sorry.
What is the other Mapla?
Tamil Nadu there is a Maplai.
I was talking about the
Son-in-law, brother-in-law.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a very, anti-caste. Recent times I started saying, we don't want brother-sister relationship. We want Mapla relationship. No, because brother-sister, this Chamars would say, Mahars, we are brothers, and they don't marry each other. So I need marriage relationship. I don't want your feudal or patriarchal relationship of brothers. So last one thing is, you have experienced so much, and why can't you write something? Because you say that Salman Khurshid is not fighting. You said that we don't know completely what his story is, but still output was not there. Yeah. So your case also, at least you can write.
I intend to.
Just pause it, Mavla. You could write, right?
I intend to. Maybe in future, inshallah, very soon.
I'm cut it.